think the planning board had the same issue as to who you would find to give you this cost estimate.
Well, I don't mean to be snarky. I'm certainly not going to take it from the developer. I want somebody independent of the applicant that's before us. That's how I look at it.
I agree, because even the rates used here from the magazine, who's to say the magazine is right? You know, that could be like, I make up a rate. I could say that the decommissioning is going to be 0.28 per whatever, you don't know.
Let me try. I want to make a motion that we approve the development agreement. And on the number 2, one-time development payment is going to be cumulative total of $387,500. That's on GDM 1 through 9 total. 387,500.
287.
I can't.
Developer may not pay attention to everything, but he paid attention.
That really was a mystery. I wasn't trying to pull it fast. That really was a mystery.
I thought he was going to throw something.
287.5, I'm sorry. And on the decommissioning removal escrow, I'm going to make a motion that it's $1.2 million, 300 in cash, the rest in the bond. With that bonding company.
And a lien on the property.
Yes.
Why?
Why not?
The landowner has to take
I'll
some
tell you what.
responsibility.
What if the landowner abandons it?
There's an estate. There's 400 acres of land. There is an estate there that can be attached.
That surety bond though needs council approval. We need to review that and have council approval.
I apologize for interrupting the motion. I would just say the project owner, there's no way we could speak for the landowner. So the town has its police powers, whatever they are, to lien. I couldn't make it part of this agreement because we would have no authority to do that.
All right.
That's my motion.
You know, it's more
Waiting
reasonable.
for a second so we'll get discussion.
Second.
Second by Mr. Fabio, any discussion? Mr. Johnson.
Well, you want to go to council first, discussion, right?
By the, three things, I guess. First, we're not looking to take responsibility for removal of the systems. The issue for the town is to make sure that somebody does. That's it. Just like a house that's fallen in disrepair, our ultimate opportunity is to lien the property there and do what we have to do and then sell the property if nothing else develops. We do fall into a circumstance where, and I don't think the decisions we've made along the way put us there. I think just the circumstance of something being abandoned that is a physical risk put us there. And we need to do the best we can today to anticipate that circumstance 30 years from now. Not easy. Bonds, clearly are an instrument that is used regularly for near-term circumstances that depend upon the quality, the financial, not quality, but the financial status of the entity on which the bond is being issued. A contractor has to have adequate cash resources to be able to avail themselves of bonding. I'm not trying to pass any judgment on the developer here before us. The challenge is, we don't know who's going to be operating or responsible or be the tenant under this agreement 2 years from now, 10 years from now, 30 years from now. So it isn't about the individuals, it's about the circumstance or any entity and their financial quality and capability at that point in time as to whether or not the bond sustains. Now I've read this agreement. It does have some interesting caveats. It's something I've not seen before in a bond. I'm anxious to hear more and learn more about that to be able to support a circumstance. But I think anything less than a 50-50 ratio of cash and bonds in this circumstance, given the developer's own estimate that we're looking at something on the order of $400,000 today, is just 30 years down the road. I mean, that may buy 2 ham sandwiches, maybe 3, I don't know. But that's the difficult part, is what will things really cost so far into the future. I think a combination is good. I would like to see, from my perspective as the administrator, a stronger relationship between the cash and the bond.
Comments from the council?
Yeah, well, we're still not considering any increase in prices or inflation or consumer price indexing, anything yet. We're just setting a number right now. It's, let's call it your Professor Rozowski. As Administrator Rozowski just said, we don't know what the price of coffee is going to be 10 years from now. We have no idea. If we're going to consider bonding, there has to be some type of, if we're going to take cash, there has to be something, cash costs will be put in interest. There has to be some type of consideration for increase of expenses to mitigate, remove, whatever we're going to call it.
Excuse me? Can I take a comment? Motion, second, discussing. Yes, Administrator Boyce is concerned that we're at 50-50. Mr. Zelinski was looking for
Personally, I don't think, if we're in discussion, I don't think we can make a decision on how much to allocate toward the bond, not knowing the potential, what this bond even is. I mean, to me, this is just a piece of paper right now. I mean, the extent in which we're discussing this, just having gotten this piece of paper today is kind of crazy, considering we haven't been able to discuss pieces of paper in the past that we've received on the same day. But let alone that, I mean, I would like to know more about it. It seems like if we're going to consider bonding, we're pivoting hardcore now because we had talked about cash, and now all of a sudden it's like, well, maybe a bond's okay. And if a bond is the route we decide to go, then I think this council needs to learn more about this bond instead of just taking the developer's word for it. I understand the council has the ultimate discretion in terms of approval, but again, you don't even know the name of the bond company that's financing these things. So it's hard to know and make a sound decision.
I can appreciate your concern, Councilman Leger. I would just say that a form of the decommissioning bond was actually attached to the proposal back in May 2018. So there has been a bond kicking around for quite a while. This is just the industry's advancing and making products that I think are more responsive to town's concerns, and that's the only reason that was provided. But in any event, if the town council sought to approve the mix along with the president's motion, or however it does, then again, the form of bond and the credit rating of the surety would be subject to the town's approval. So the town really isn't flying blind on this. They would be reserving the right to approve form and substance of the surety.
When I made my motion, I wasn't referencing this document at all. It was the process or the theory that it's a mix of cash and bonding. And you can read, if you listen to the motion that I made, it was that bond would have final approval by the council. For that reason, that we're not sure of it. I'm trying to get this to the point that we can actually take the final vote in 2 weeks. So we're trying to dot the i's across the t's, but get it close. I'd amend the motion if that's what the council would like to see, that they want a bigger mix. I don't have a problem doing that. I just put some numbers out there for discussion. If you want a closer one-to-one mix, I'd be amenable to that, but I made a motion and discussing. Would you like to see this amended to
Yes,
closer split?
yes, let's try and get it closer.
So I'll amend my motion that it's a 50-50 split, 6 and 6 on the decommissioning. 600 in escrow and 600 on the bond. Is there a second on that
Second.
amendment? Second. Any other discussion?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go on the record, I still think that's too low. I don't think it's setting the town up for success 30 years from now. You know, we're talking about a rate right now, 400 to 500,000, whatever that number is as of today. That's not including a discount rate, that's not including any type of forecasting in terms of removal. We can get as technical as we want with it, but to say, yeah, 400,000 is good for cash right now, again, we don't know what the future cost is, so we should at least be calculating how much is that 400,000 worth in 30 years, not today, because that's ultimately what's going to drive this decision. The developer is making forecasts based on how much money he's going to obtain over a 30-year project, not currently today. So as sound and prudent as they're being, we should be just as sound and prudent in our decision. And just to be throwing arbitrary numbers at a wall at 10:20 at a night is not, in my eyes, our doing the best. I think we should consider more of a percentage if we are going a bond. And personally, I think it should be higher. I think it should be 60-40, if not higher. So that's just my 2 cents on that.
Mr. Ogier, thank you for saving me to try to articulate what you just said. I agree. I think we've had this conversation. It goes back to the amount of money. I can tell you, I'm not comfortable with bonds at all because I've experienced them here in the town. It's been very difficult to make a decision at this late hour with the information that came. I guess it came by an email today. We got printed copies. I would need more time to understand this bonding principle, this process, this new bonding process. I understand bonds a little bit, but not as they apply to decommission of renewable energy sources.
Any other discussion? The number that we talked about was $1.2 million. That's what we're achieving right now.
606.
We're hitting the number that we targeted for decommissioning 20 years, 25 years from now. There's been a motion, a second amended motion on the decommissioning, and a second roll call vote.
Mrs. Barnamoli?
Yes,
Mrs. O'Hara?
Yes.
Mr. Ogier?
No.
Mr. Zelinski?
Who like to make stipulations? No.
Mr. Vadeney?
Yes.
Mr. President, just to be clear what that motion was voted on, a lot of discussion went on, what was that final vote? Can the clerk just recite it so everybody's clear on it?
Motion to approve the development agreement with number 2 cumulative, total $287,500, and to put in the escrow $1.2 million, with it being a 50-50 split of $600,000 in cash and $600,000 in bond.
And I thought you had indicated something specific about the bond.
The bond would be reviewed and accepted by council.
Do you have that, Madam Clerk? So the bond is not approved tonight.
No, process. We can't approve a bond because.
I just want to be sure that allows.
But the bond is gets approved by us. That was part of the motion.
I thought so, I just wanted to make sure that was in there.
That's it. So the solicitor will have his work cut out to finalize this between yourself and Ms. Corsini, and come back and see us in the next meeting, and hopefully we'll.
Yeah, I think we
Make a
should
final vote.
get this done.
I just want to clarify one point. Given this vote, we have under this ordinance, the overlay district ordinance, for us to proceed a preliminary, we have to show evidence of an approval. So given this, we feel we're ready to go forward to the planning board, that we have evidence of approval. It's just subject to a form of a bond, which will work out.
Mr. President, I'm satisfied with the idea that even, just in case we don't have these final forms, these final forms don't need to be, that planning process is gonna take months. That you voted to approve tonight, that would be sufficient, the minutes of this meeting. I'll defer to the planner if he needs to see these actual documents to certify it as complete for the next step. I don't want to,
I think the decision, the condition said an executed agreement with the
Okay,
council, right?
okay.
Yeah.
so we'll get this done, and then we will get this
That's
done.
that's not correct. The conditions of master plan approval was evidence of approval of the tax was being placed in submittal from their application.
Yeah, evidence of an approved tax treaty with the town council must be placed, okay, so approved.
So the minutes,
Yeah, that's fine.
if the planner will accept the minutes, then that, the council should be aware of that.
And then you'll clean it up, and then we'll have an executed copy, we can authorize the administrator or whoever to sign.
Well, ultimately, it'll get to the planning board, but it doesn't need to be there for them.
Right, so what I'm saying is, going forward from here, you will clean up those agreements for us to finally give authorization for the administrator.
I think we should put them back on the docket, you know, so you see them in all cleaned up. And I think you've already indicated you want them on the website, so the changes. So I'll work on that, Mr. Cassini, on
So,
these changes.
I know the vote was taken, but I'd just like to voice this, that, of course, the money would be put, the cash would be put in an interest bearing, but we made no provisions for the bond amount to go up with an annual rate of X percent. So, in essence, we may not have enough, we don't know what it's gonna cost 20 years from now. Now, if you want to be real good neighbors, Mr. Brasini, maybe you want to contemplate some type of inflation clause in there for a reasonable amount for the bond.
Next item,